go on showing appointments 3 times a week, write 5 contracts per month, and start my kids in full-time school first of the year. Outstanding. Cool, Chelsea. Thank you so much for that. That is great. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to get into some math, and I know y'all love math. But I think what I want you to do in this process is to bear with me, because there's a conclusion that we're going to come through. So if you get lost on some of this, don't worry about it. I'd be happy to send you a copy of it or go over it with you again. We'll have a replay of the video to go over it again. But what's cool about this is we can start with how much money we want to make in 2019 and get it all the way back to how many appointments we need to go on. Okay? And there's a great conclusion at the end of this that I'm going to ask you what that is. But let's get started on that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Allison, can you see that okay? Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through the numbers. And if you're like most real estate agents, this is the part where you go, ugh, math. Most of us, this isn't our strong point, okay? But we're going to get there. Hang in there with me. This is cool stuff. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to first go with our net income goal. How much money are we really going to make at the end of the year, okay? So a lot of what we're doing is going to assume that you're on a team, you're running a team, or you're a single agent, okay? However, the numbers, if you are on a team, the numbers are going to be very, very close to this. So, you know, I'll explain what that means in a second here. So let's just say we want to make 200,000. So that means what? We got to make about 205,000. Make 200? No, it's got to be a lot more than that. So if we want to make under the model that we have, okay, you're going to have 29.2% of cost of sale and 29.2% of operating expense in your business, okay? This figure over here is your profit. This is what's left over, okay? So those numbers equal 100%. So what you're going to do is you take this number and divide it by 0.16. It's $9.03. Okay. So I want to make $200,000. My gross income has to be $480. Almost $480. Okay. That would be if I was in budget and model. So the first thing we're going to look at cost of sale, and the first thing the way the funding process around the HUD. Okay. And your operating expenses, again, if you're a single agent or running a team, you know, we're going to make 2%. Okay. Now, here's the difference. Cost of sales, anything you pay on these. Okay. This would be a referral fee. This would be a split to your team. So anything that you're paying on each deal. Operating expenses are pre-tax expenses that you have to run this. If you are on a team, your numbers here are probably very similar, and your cost is going to go way up, and your expenses are going to be way down, okay? So, you know, you may have, you know, like I said, I mean, this may be north, this could be, you know, this could be north 50, 60%, and this is going to be minimal here, you know? You had to be on cost there. And the cost of fees, you pay for what you pay, and there's a close place, and somebody else telling you that you network is, okay? Drop our expenses here. Okay, so, you know, you're going to have to be sellers in 20, because just any you want for your business. So revenue from sellers, what do you have GCI? Okay, which was $480,000. So it's $240,384. Okay, what we're going to do is divide that commission rate. So let's say we're going to get, like I said, if we get a 6% listing, that would be 6%. Let's presume, we may have some lower commission rates on a listing side, either 5% or here and there. That's 6% example on the list side. So on the list side, it's off volume, your volume, a million, 12, 18. Okay. So now we're going to tie our average sales price. Okay. So put in where your sale is versus use. Some areas lower here, some areas higher than considerably higher than average. So if you divide figure by that figure, you have a percent sold. Okay. So 33. So 33 of your listings will sell. Okay. All right. So obviously you're going to have 33 sales, you get 43, 44. We're divided by conversion rate. Okay. What it means is you're going to take maybe 35% of your listings will sell. They get drawn, my or really more have to be. Everyone takes show up here. So you have to track numbers, what you want to run numbers in there for these. These are industry standards, that teams and agents figure out. So these are pretty standard numbers. You want numbers there. So not every listing you take will sell. So if you divide that by 65%, you want something else to sell. So now you're not taking every listing. Let's just say you're pretty good at it. Getting 7 out of 10. If you're brand new, maybe it needs the maybe it needs 6%. Very few sellers will interview more than 2 agents. Sometimes they don't interview more than 2. So let's see. What's the listing point? Let's do it on. 73. Okay. I'm going to divide that by 52. And 1.4 seller listing appointments per week. It'll round that up to 2. Where you can have you do it multi-do and break it out. But basically, somewhere between listing appointment and you do 2 1 week and 1 extra. So it's only 2. Okay. Now we have this. These are listing appointments. You got your listing signed. You listed the property. They didn't all sell, and and look, you're still there. Then every listing go on. Every listing isn't going to sell if you're doing a volume just hands. You're not going to have 100% raise on it. So now we know we're going to do half of them go about 2 months. Gross revenue from buyers. And if there is, if you have any questions or if there's anything that you want me to cover at the end of our webinar here, type it in the box, text me. I really know what you want to talk about. I really want to help you out to restart this down here. So, like I said, I wanted to leave some time at the end for things that you all want to talk about. So revenue buyers for 11%. So 3 say about 2.4. That's a standard commission rate on the 6% for our area. So that gives your buyer sold volume. There we go. So buy sold volume 10 million, and we're going to divide by average sales price again. Let's just say the number of buyers sold equals 4 buyers. So you and 33 that means you signed a buyer link agreement, a buyer agreement with 8 of 10 will end up in a contract. So it's just that few. Let's see for that. You can do that like bonus, but some of your buyers aren't going to be so you can't qualify. That's going to lower your conversion sum too. So that's 80 buy listings. We're going to divide by 52, and come up with a number of 1.54 buyer listings a week, listing appointments a week, and we round it up to 2. One week to that. We'll take your week. Someone has their hand up. Paul. Paul, can you hear me? We can't hear Paul. Hold on. Why can't Paul talk? Hey, Paul, now can you talk? No. Okay. Can you type it in the chat box, Paul? So while Paul's doing that, let me ask you now. Go ahead and type it in the chat box. So we're down to maybe, if we wanted to hit those goals, we're down to 2 listing appointments a week and 2 buyer appointments a week. Does that sound reasonable? What are your thoughts? Yeah, it's not that bad, is it? See, I mean, we're very, very reasonable. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and that's what it's going to boil down to. You know, I always tell everybody I'm going to work the numbers back with them, but it all comes out the same, right? It's all going to come out to, if you're doing about an appointment a day, you're going to crush it. You're going to absolutely crush it. Okay. And you could do that. You're not going to get every appointment you go on, and that doesn't mean you're getting an appointment. It doesn't mean you're getting a deal a day, a listing a day, a buyer listing a day. It just means if I can get my pipeline to the point that I'm just going on 1 appointment a day, look what you can do, right? And if you're on a team, or if you've got leverage, you know, you're a single agent with leverage, you should be working toward, once you're really rolling, you should be you should be able to do at least a couple of appointments a day. There's no reason why you can't do that once you really get cranking and you have a team to support you. And just imagine what you can accomplish, you know, if you did that. So I think sometimes there's a disconnect. And I think that we all tend to think this is all so daunting to be able to pull off. Like, I gotta go on 4 appointments a day to meet my goals. It's not that. It's not that at all. You know, a $200,000 net income, that's a pretty nice life here, anywhere for that matter. I mean, you know, that's an executive. That's high executive money. I mean, $200,000 income a year. That's some good cash for most people. And there are agents on teams that are making over $300,000 a year. Okay. You know, what we teach single agents to do is we teach them to put leverage in place first. You know, first get productive on their own activities, then, you know, when the income permits, then to add leverage and people, systems, and tools to allow them to spend more of their time doing in the dollar productive activities, which really causes their business to explode. So, you know, I want you all to be excited about the fact that, you know, I hope you're excited about the fact that, you know, it's not all that daunting, right? And I know you can all get you can all start going on 1 appointment a day and getting your pipeline full, and you probably can do a lot more than that, you know. And when you get to the point where, you know, you just can't stand it anymore with everything that's going on, then, you know, you can also get leverage in place for yourself to take you to an even higher level. You know, there's, like, if you're on a team, there's showing assistant models, or if you're building it, you know, yourself, they're showing assistant models too, that you can use. You could put into place to once you hit your, there's a ceiling of how much someone can do just by themselves. But once you add leverage, it can really be unlimited. So, I mean, that's really how you have those big breakthroughs and really get to the next level. Cool.